So hello guys and welcome back to the USDE Travel Channel. I am so excited to once again be reviewing flights for you guys, especially flights within Europe. But today I'm really excited. I'll be flying an airline that I have never flown before, a brand new airline for me. I'm going to be on Aegean Airlines from here in Frankfurt down to Athens, Greece. Aegean is the flag carrier of Greece, and I'll be on board one of their brand new A321 Neo aircraft today for about a 2.5-hour flight down to Athens. I'll be in economy class testing that product. Apparently the economy service has been greatly reduced because of COVID, but I'm going to still see what you get for your money on Aegean Airlines. So come with me and let's fly down to Greece. And here is my aircraft for the day down to Athens. I assumed it was going to be an A321 Neo based on my flight tracking app, but actually an A320 Neo showed up to the gate. This was a 2-year-old aircraft that was delivered brand new to Aegean back in 2020 directly from Airbus. So now a seat tour on economy class on the A320 Neo, first the in-flight magazine blue, and a very handy USB port for charging your phone during the flight, a regular tray table that folds out and folds back in, and by far my biggest complaint with the flight, the almost non-existent legroom. As you can see, only a few inches, a few centimeters of legroom for the whole flight, which became very uncomfortable after a few hours. Also a phone holder so you can watch movies during the flight. I thought that was a really nice feature of the seat. So I did buy a special meal to test out the food on Aegean. I really liked the little box it came in. It was very compact and had a good design. But this was the only service on board. There was no food, no drinks available at all. This was a smoked beef and tartar sauce sandwich on whole grain bread, and it did come with a Kit Kat bar for a little bit of dessert, as well as a hygienic wipe. But as you can see, there was no water offered, no drinks, nothing. So it was only this food, and that was it. So this was your only option for having any sort of food on board, was to buy a meal box like this. Here's a sandwich in more detail. It tasted fine, but it was basically what you would get complimentary before COVID on most flag carriers in Europe, but here you had to pay for it. So hello guys from my very nice apartment here in Athens. Just landed about an hour and a half ago, and it was kind of busy at the airport. A lot of people arriving at the same time, so I couldn't find a nice quiet area to do the outro for my video, so I'm going to do it now. All in all, it was a pretty good flight from Aegean. Honestly, I was very surprised by the fact that we had meal service on the plane. I had tried to go in a couple of days ago and buy meal service so I could test out the food for you guys, and there was no option for it, and on the website it said that they were not serving anything. So I figured, okay, because of COVID, and they said only in business class can you reserve a meal. And then about halfway through the flight, they came around with those sandwiches that you saw that actually tasted pretty good, as well as a little Kit Kat candy and drink service. I didn't get a drink because I had already bought stuff at Frankfurt Airport, but I think it was only non-alcoholic beverages were available. But that really surprised me that they had that on the plane. Some other positives were that the crew was really nice. They're really attentive, and they seemed really happy to be flying and really happy to be helping you. They also stuck to their COVID rules pretty well, which I liked. The plane was pretty much 100% booked, so there might have been a couple seats free, but it was a very crowded flight, but they were able to keep everything in order, and you felt safe flying. The plane was very clean. There was no stains or marks anywhere or tears in the seat. I also liked that there was a USB port on the seat. I thought that it wouldn't work when I got on the plane, but then once we were up in the air, they activated them, and it was great to be able to charge my phone up on the flight. And also the seats themselves were actually pretty pretty comfortable, at least for the back, because they were not these thin line seats that you see on Lufthansa, for example. So these were actually a thicker seat, so you actually had some support for the back. So those are the positives for the flight. I would say that for the money you spend, it was a pretty good product, especially for a 2-hour and 20-minute flight. As for the negatives, one small one and one pretty big one. The small one was that there was Wi-Fi on board, but you could only access the Aegean Airlines portal through the Wi-Fi, so there's actually no internet access. You could only access their in-flight portal, which gave you access to some international magazines. They did have up-to-date magazines in full, so I was able to read Newsweek from America in full, which I thought was pretty cool, but it kind of made no sense to me that there was no internet access. You could only access this portal for free, and I feel like if the infrastructure is already there to have the Wi-Fi capability, you might as well make it where you can pay to get actual internet access and not just to this one portal. There was also apparently a live map on the portal, but the live map didn't work, which was kind of disappointing because I like to normally track where the flight is during our flight. So that was sort of a negative for me, that if you're going to have Wi-Fi on board, that's great that you have a free portal with some information. I love that, but give us the option at least, even if it is only a 2-hour flight, to at least buy the Wi-Fi. And the biggest negative I can say, and this is not to do with Aegean at all, is just that I've flown now on the A320 Neo a couple times, mostly with Lufthansa, and the legroom, as you guys saw, is non-existent. So for 2 hours, it's not terrible, although it's not great. By the end of the flight, my knees were hurting, my legs were aching. They really do pack you into those planes. So don't go on the Neo expecting comfort, at least not in economy class. And also within Europe, it doesn't pay normally to buy the business class. Normally, intra-European business class, all you're getting is extra bag allowance, food, and maybe the pre-board option, but the seat is the same, just the middle seat next to you is blocked. So for the price, it's not worth it to get business class. And in economy class, it was really difficult after a while. I'm a pretty average height person, so I could imagine that if you were even taller than me, it'd be even worse. But the legroom is just non-existent, which makes for a really uncomfortable flight. But as I said, the crew did their best. Getting that little meal service really helped a little bit, just because it was a nice unexpected surprise. So all in all, pretty good flight. If you're going to fly down to Greece, I can recommend Aegean Airlines. Be prepared to maybe have a bit of an uncomfortable flight actually flying in the seat, but the crew and the food was good. So and it was not that expensive of a flight. I ended up paying, I believe, 60 euros for this flight in total. So it wasn't that bad at all. And they're actually growing their network a lot, Aegean. They have flights out of the Middle East, North Africa, to Georgia, so as well as all throughout Europe. So they're really growing their network. So thanks a lot, guys, for watching this video. Have you ever flown Aegean? If so, tell me your experiences on it and how you thought the airline did. I'm a pretty small channel, just starting out, so if you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments below. And if you would, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be putting out new flight reviews every 2 weeks, stuff from America, stuff from Europe, and hopefully expanding soon into Asia, the Middle East, stuff like that. So if you liked the video, give me a like, and I will see you guys next time for another exciting Greek aviation adventure. Thanks for watching.